Good morning. Hello, my darlings. How are you all doing with this change of season? And we can really feel those planets all retrograde and that Pluto. It's all happening. And so I can't really dwell on everything that's going on. So I'm hoping that by going through all my posts, we can pick up, because there's so much going on, but we're going to get to the most important right now is that Mars is on Aldebaran, that I always say wrong, and we've got a full moon tomorrow, and we have got the poison chalice, we've got the Iron Lady rising, we've got the Chimera, we've got the lion, goat, snake being merged as one to create this Iron Lady. Everything I've been telling you about, the whore of Babylon, the queen of hell. And it's the Elizabeth line, as I've said through my videos. And now we've got the Liz Truss. And we're right on mark with even using the poison chalice, winning the poison chalice. So let's have a look at the planets and let me show you what is happening. So this popped up last night in front of my eyes. It's just been Jimmy Fallon. So it's a mother-daughter challenge. Hillary and Chelsea, shells and the sea. She sells seashells on the seashore. So mother-daughter challenge. So one of them has to put headphones on whilst the other one is asked a personal question, and they have to see if they get it right. So first, the words, we've got Chelsea is asked, what was your mother's favourite song? And she gets Moon River. So we'll go into Moon River, but this is for the full moon. This is the river. This is the Gorge. This is the valley, which is the Gorge. It's the Tudor Rose. It's the George. It's the Georgian, Elizabethan George. So they get that right. So here's the next question. And look, she's doing a little dance. So she took Chelsea to Russia. We went to a state visit. Bill was there. Formal goodbyes. So Bill and I were ushered into the big limousine, the Beast, she calls it, to head to the airport, not knowing that we had left her behind. Right, so they left the daughter in Russia. Imagine telling that story at this time at the Kremlin, especially with everything that has happened. Very good, here we go. So what was the craziest family vacation memory? Chased by a bear or something. So, you know, that is the bear of the North Polaris. It's the Russian bear. We're there. Shock. All the shock. It's fun. When they left me in the Kremlin. And if that wasn't staged, dingo. Oh, look at this. Oh, la, la. Okay. So we're just jumping around. This is very much what's happening right now. Love Came For Me, 1984 Splash. This is the first post I did after the last video. And you're going to see how it becomes very what's going on right now. Are you ready for the Whale's Tales? Will.i.am, Venus Williams, her sister Serena, the siren, The sirens go off in France at midday. The Peak, the Polaris, the North Star. The sirens go off every day at midday in France, as in my village. The siren, the sirena. The whale's tails, Will.i.am, tail splash, Cetus, Levis, Moby Dick, Armistice. 1984, year of the bull ox. Pluto was in the maiden Artemis, Virgo. Mutable Earth, Virgo, Pisces, Mutable Earth. So the film Splash came out in 1984. Mutable Earth, water axis. The mermaid on land with 2 legs. She sold her voice. In 1964, year of the dragon, Pluto was still in Leo. So there's a flashback in the film to 1964 when she and Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah and he are children. The first meeting of the mermaids. That was the year of the dragon. Pluto was still in Leo when at CC33 Cape Cod is where this happens in the film. That is the Hook. If you look at America, it's the Captain Hook. Fish caught, and the longitude latitude 4170. That's the 14 pieces of Osiris, and the last leg north 70. West is 70, 41 is north. Tom Hanks met the mermaid as a child when she saved him. 2024 Paris Olympics is the year of the dragon. So in 64 was the year of the dragon, and in 24 it will be the year of the dragon when Pluto returns to Earth. The goat, after 244 years absence, she's actually arriving next year. To the goat fish, high cardinal Earth, the mermaid fishtail found again, spirit from flesh to legs. La Marianne, Artemis is risen now, 2022. 2024 Olympics, Lighthouse, Iron Lady. So all this I wrote before we've got this Liz Truss coming up, and the Thatcher, who's known as the Iron Lady, Liberty Eye fell, Tower, the Thalamus. We've just had an explosion in China, which was right at the northern gates. I'm going to be showing you. So they're blowing up, they're killing Bill, they're killing Capricorn to bring up the Chelsea Girl, the famous film Chelsea Girl that they left in the Kremlin. And we've got that merging of Russia, which is only 55 kilometers from Alaska, merging America, China, America with China, Russia, the East. When the North becomes the East. Felt Tower, the Thalamus, former halt is the passage to Aquarius through the unconscious collected of the abyss. 2025, Artemis 3, officially Artemis 3 is planned as the first crewed moon landing mission of the Artemis program and the first crewed flight of the Starship. So they've cancelled it, and they're now saying it's going to be in October. So we've got the eclipse on the 25th of October, but it was cancelled on the 3rd. It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. And then we had the earthquake on the 9th. So 369, the line broke, the moon key got choked. The 9, the 3-9 is also the 3-6, 360-degree wheel that closes. Mission of the Artemis program and the first crewed flight of the Starship. 2022 Tour de France started in Denmark and ended in Paris. Tribe of Dan, DNA, Snake Dragon, Milky Way axis up. 1 second. Okay, I hope the sound works now that I had to open up a call. So here we go. So the Snake Dragon Milky Way was formed by bicycles to crown Le Dauphin. So the Tour de France, you've got the bicycles, the 2 wheels to crown Le Dauphin. Freddie Mercury, I like to ride my bicycle. Gemini Virgo become one. Black Madonna and her child, sun. Closure, end of Virgo Pisces axis and the passage past through the abyss Pisces, Levis, Elvis is Cetus. the unconscious collective, into the age of Aquarius, Capricorn, Father Air, Mother Earth, Virgo, Gemini, also Earth, Air, mutable are the children, Air, Earth, DNA strands, Jack and Jill that reach the peak through the gorge, through the throat before breaking their crown and tumbling down. The Little Mermaid is a bronze statue by Edvard Eriksson. So we've got EE, which is also the MM flipped, 13, 13, 26 is the 8th of the Orus Boreas, depicting a mermaid becoming human. The sculpture is displayed on a rock by the waterside at the Langline Promenade in Copenhagen. Fomalhaut is the brightest star in the southern constellations of Pisces, Osterinus, the southern fish, and one of the brightest stars in the night sky. It has the Bayer designation Alpha Pisces Ustranini, which is Latinized from a Pisces Ostranini. So this is the passage which is considered the chalice of Glastonbury. If you see at Glastonbury the chalice, the well, and all the drawings is of the Vesica Pisces. It's the passage we're going through. It's the eye, which they call the eye of the tiger, the life of pi. It's the pi. So 314. So we've got the 3777, all the three triple sisters. We're at the last. Can you get through the throat? Can you find your voice? Can you return to the spirits and not lose your tail? They're going to be catching mermaids. This is the iron hand, the hidden hands. Depicting a mermaid becoming human. The sculpture is displayed on a rock by the waterside at the Langline Promenade in Copenhagen. Fomalhaut is the brightest star in the southern constellation of Pisces Osterinus, the southern fish. So we've done that. Cape Cod, a hook-shaped peninsula of the U.S. state of Massachusetts, is a popular summertime destination. It's the site of quaint villages, seafood hacks. So what does she say, Clinton and Chelsea? They said, what was your favourite holiday destination? So holiday represents Leo. Leo is joy, romance, fun, teenager. It's the energy of going on holiday. In the large town of Hyannis, the John F. Kennedy Museum is the first stop. So Kennedy is where Artemis, the NASA program, it's at Ken's Turkey, Kentucky. Kennedy is the Medusa, the Milky Way, and we're at that diaphragm we've got in France. I'll be showing you dome-like clouds, which has been called the Medusa. Is the first stop on the Kennedy Legacy Trail through downtown, where ferries depart to the resort islands of Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. So that is just a story that you can read. In 1964, 8-year-old Alan Boa, Tom Hanks, and his family are taking a boat tour at Cape Cod. Alan is fascinated by something below the surface and jumps overboard in the ocean. He encounters a young girl and inexplicably finds himself able to breathe underwater. So I just posted yesterday a video by Gainsbourg, Serge Gainsbourg, his first ever song in 1960, shown on the telly, called Eau à la bouche, water to the mouth. So you know that this is the flood, this is Moon River. Clinton's favourites, we've got the full moon tomorrow. The mermaid finds Alan's wallet. So it's the kissing him. This is about you finding your twin flame and being able to breathe underwater, being able to touch the bottom, to come up through what's it called? Decompression. Right, so that was, again, there's all this impersonating Swedish scientists. Remember, the baddies were the Swedish scientists, climate change. the top of the maypole. Okay. So it looks like I'm setting myself off through the post going backwards, because then we're going to go and look at the sky and you'll see how it's all coming together. So I was sent an artist to look at the pictures, which are, I chose this one and made a post about it. This is a Swedish artist talking about Swedish, and you've got the feminine axis, black and white, earth and water, the two swans, black and white, and you've got the black swans with feet, and you've got the white, these do have, the white swans do have feet as well, making the golden. So thanks, Aska, for showing me this artist, Hilma af Klint. Well, it's not Clint, is it? Because if it's Clint, I know Clint's work. But maybe this is work that I hadn't seen. No, I don't think it's the same one. The white swan, Pisces, has no feet. Obviously, she does have feet. She is spirit, water, grace falls, the gas rises, the black swan rises now with legs, feet, soul. So this is in the shape of the meter. It's closing. You know, this is the Cygnus, this is the diving duck. And you've got it in the shape of the mutable cross. The black swan rises now with the legs, soles, feet in the shape of the mutable cross, four corners with no head. No five-pointed star is missing. You've got to get through the throats to avoid. So I would have had, where is the chemrin? There. So you've got to get you've got to integrate the triple goddess, the three stages of the woman, to find your heads, to find the merging. Look here, they've got her without her heads. That's that famous dream I had of holding the snakes, of holding the DNA, but without the heads. This is just Medusa. And Medusa was a really sweet, lovely woman. She was the primal enemy of Athena, Venus. This was Virgo when she was sweet, and when she got turned into Medusa with snakes, she slowly became what she resembled and became as horrible, because Venus is exalted in Pisces and in fall in Virgo. So, you know, you've got to keep your heads. You've got to find your head to get through the true Vesica Pisces of Pisces, the true Chalice, the true Mother Yoni of Pisces, not the eye of the tiger. The Pluto retrograde under Altair before he enters Capricorn. We've got the two axes, the 9th door Sagittarius and the 12th door activated, and you either fall into the abyss, or you get through, or you go through the tiger Asia of Sagittarius. Yeah, you don't want to lose your heads. Okay, so 5-pointed stars missing, closed in the diaphragm, meter door, matador, the meteor. Incredible images of alchemy perverted for the golden cage in art. Another golden dawn, Lucifer rising, member of the Theosophical Victorian era society, Madame Blavatsky, Aleister Crowley, Prepper for now, Hilma af Klint. It's the Swedish pronunciation. So she died in 1944, D-Day, was a Swedish artist and mystical whose paintings are considered among the first abstract works known in Western art history. A considerable body of her work predates the first purely abstract compositions by Kandinsky. It's the writer movement, the Blue House. I love Kandinsky and Malevich. That's just brought back memories of my learning modern art before I was whisked off and married. I loved it. And Mondrian, he was French. She belonged to a group called the Five, comprising a circle of women inspired by Theosophy who shared a belief in the importance of trying to contact the so-called high masters, often by way of seances. So, it's all not making the passage through and staying connected to these entities that control you. It's the airwaves. Okay. We are fast approaching the stage of the ultimate inversion, the stage where the government is free to do anything it pleases, while the citizens may act only by permission, which is the stage of the darkest periods of human history, the stage of rule by brute force. That's a great picture, and bingo. Everything is about the anima and the animus. That, Jung was all part of the gang, but at least he told you, in order when the Milky Way closes with the solstice, the equinox, the solstice, the sun and the moon, the mother, the father, Mars and Venus, masculine, feminine, war and peace. And this girl has got shadow work community, and it's just so important. The anima is a kind of desire or system of expectations that a man has in relation to a woman, an erotic relationship fantasy. If outer expectations like ordinary sensual desire or schemes regarding money, power and so on get mixed up with it, everything is lost. Thus, conscious recognition of the anima means loving the other for herself and for love's sake. When I follow my love, then my love is fulfilled. Only for a man who pursues the anima for her own sake does she become Beatrice. For such a man, she becomes a bridge to the transcendental realms. Meditating, I followed the path of love, as Dante expresses it, but the anima is initially also to be found in a man's ambition, and thus she entangles him in guilt and error if he does not consciously recognize his lust for power. If a man is incapable of this, he finally ends up completely isolated in a state of possession. So the anima is the male's moon and Venus, mother and his desire. There's the dark side of Venus. If he's unaware of the dark side of Venus and he doesn't fulfill, because for him there's that female energy that he doesn't want to, so he cannot overcome his unconscious realm and gets into all kinds of messes with women because he doesn't own his own woman. He ends up hating her. We could also apply this description to the animus, the female Mars and Sun, which is really a system of understanding. For the animus, what counts is insight or truth for truth's sake, over and against any admixture of sensuality or power craving. So, I've always held that. I've always disliked women that, and I've had to overcome that within myself as well, unconsciously. But the woman predator who doesn't consciously acknowledge what she does, and she does that with her girlfriend, she does that with men. I'm just, when I was married, there was not a single woman that literally didn't have it off and had no idea. They all fell under the charm. All of my friends sold their soul, all of them. And my same thing with my son. I just let my son, my husband, my men do go whatever they want, because you cannot imagine what you can't do. And I just don't do that. How many men set me up to make their woman jealous, because because people just thought I was stupid because I was nice and charming, but I had no under desires, and they can't see that. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but just to explain what the animus is. A mixture of sensuality or power craving. Only a woman who loves the truth for its own sake can integrate the animus. So that's what I try to do. I give, everything I do is to protect innocence, if not that hell hath no fury than a scorned woman is used in the wrong way. And I've been through that, through the shock of the betrayals that have been done to me. And then he becomes, like the anima, a bridge to the self, that is to the knowledge of the self. And when two people in a relationship with each other are on the path of a reciprocal individuation process, then the motive of the connicto of a supra-personal couple is constellated. So you see they's couples, they're coming up, it's great, they're working for the same thing, to live off grid, they're working for truth, they're working, as a real team. There are many of these couples, it's just our generation just don't seem to have as many. And we're still doing that bridge over, that getting past through the dome, using your diaphragm to breathe, learning how to use your voice, learning how women can integrate their hidden masculine unconscious and men, their feminine. The mother and father merge. It's your gateway. Love thy mother and father. So many men, so-called spiritual men you meet, and they've got these mother issues, and women with their fathers as well. It's not so. The beginning that in the given at the beginning that in the hero's schemos, it is not two egos that are face to face, but rather everyone whose heart we touch. This strange multiplicity is very difficult to understand. It is as though in the beyond there exists only one divine couple, Shiva and Shakti, who are in eternal embrace, and the earthly human being participates in their connicto only as a guest at the feast, as Andrea portrays in his book, The Chemical Wedding. So that's what alchemy is. It's just the chemical wedding. It's finding that balance in yourself, understanding the two wolves, the hungry one, the hungry one and the peaceful one, and being able to be the master of your diaphragm and finding that peace, and stop searching, looking in that mirror, looking under the water for the mermaid. Go and transcend and find her within you. Old post from 2018. Right, that's very long. But it's very good. It was before the Great Conjunction. You should read that. And it was about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. We've now got Pluto at the end of Sagittarius, Saturn bang in the middle of Capricorn and Aquarius, and Jupiter in Pisces. So they basically are all on the very top, on the two doors, 9 and 12, into the 10th, 11th houses. So it's really your chance to activate and get past the last visible planet, Saturn, and to be in touch with your unconscious Pluto and conscious Uranus and your imagination, and closest you can get to the ethereal Neptune. So then we had the rockets. So Hell Fat launches in Blood Moon comic September. Yeah, that was something I found, a comic. I'll open it. Hell Fates in Blood Moon. So, June the 28th, the 9 circles. Cover the dead with, look at this, these right. Let's shut that, but you get the gist. Today launch cancelled, bleeding, making the virgin, Mercury boy, sun king, fertile, making the girl moon into the whore. So it was cancelled because she was bleeding. The Putin moon conjunct, so she's no longer a virgin. Moon conjunct, Mercury exalted, and domicile Mercury is ruler of Artemis, Virgo, Gemini, Apollo. In Greek tradition, Artemis is the daughter of the sky god and king of gods Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. The 2nd of September, Venus, so they said it was going to be the 2nd, then they said it was going to be the 3rd. Venus will be conjunct Regulus's feet of Jesus, the whore of Babylon, queen of hell. Mary Magdalene wipes the blood of Jesus's feet. So it was cancelled for the bleeding. Minnie Mouse, Marilyn Monroe, Man by Man, Mile by Mile. NASA's Artemis 1 moon rocket launch has been postponed due to a problem with one of the engines. So the fallopian tubes of Virgo, she's going to be made sterile. The space agency said launch director Charlie Blackwell Thompson has called a scrub of the attempt of the launch of Artemis. The issue that came up was an engine bleed, which couldn't be remedied, but the rocket is currently in stable configuration. It was mostly tanked, but not completely tanked. Engineers are now working on a plan to continue gathering data about this particular engine and the bleed that didn't work out. The portrayal of Mary Magdalene as a prostitute began in 591 when Pope Gregory, so we had Pope Gregory the First, and then we had the changing of the calendars, the Julian and the Gregorian, Pope 13th, or 14th it was, or 13th, conflated Mary Magdalene, who was introduced in Luke 8:2 with Mary of Bethany. So this is the same story of Medusa. Medusa was a sweet, lovely girl, and then her main rival, Venus, turned her into a Gorgon. And this is the same story as Mary, Queen of Scots, and Elizabeth I. The biggest, we'll be coming to that, but the biggest rival in history is considered between Mary and Elizabeth. And, this is the throat is the chalice, the passage of the tall Glastonbury, which is being pushed a lot by all the Theosophical gang at the moment. The golden dawn, the golden dawn, the golden dawn. This is the golden time now. It's Leo. The sun is still in Leo. It will go into Virgo on the 17th. The earth is golden, but we're at dusk. We're going into, when the ground is golden, everything is dried out. The harvest time is now Leo. Virgo, it's all over the harvest. We're into the rain. We're coming into the winter. She's now under the horizon because Leo is the new horizon. That's why the sun is still in Leo. We've got the 9/8. That's today's dates. The sun is in Leo. It's not going to enter Virgo until the 17th, 16th, 17th. So it's the golden dusk we're being taken into, not the dawn, the whore of Babylon. Pope Gregory's Easter sermon resulted in a widespread belief that Mary Magdalene was a repentant prostitute or promiscuous woman because of the legend saying that Mary Magdalene had been a prostitute. She became the patroness of wayward women. So WW is becoming MM, Milky Way. And in the 18th century, moral reformers established Magdalene asylums to help save women from prostitution. Right. Well, you're not going to ever face your animus, women, if you don't go through the sexual transmutation of life and death. So, I've got one of my greatest friends, who's just announced to me that her daughter is cutting herself open. And, you know, it's the role of our women generation to help women go through. If she can't get to the bottom of the deep blue sea, her daughter's going to react. You've got to get through hell yourself. You've got to face the music. You can't make your life comfortable. You have to get to a place where you can fully embody the masculine within you, without thinking you can go and get married. The alchemical wedding is an inside job. You know, I lived the whore of Babylon. I've done everything in symbolic alchemical ways because the only thing that mattered to me was truth. So now I can see, I can self-observe my shadow sides so it doesn't come up. I'm conscious of it. This event, in a sense, crowns all that has been said previously about Christ entrusting divine truths to women as well as men. Mary Magdalene is considered to be a saint by the Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, and Anglican and Lutheran denominations. In 2016, Pope Francis raised the level of literal memory on July the 22nd from memorial to feast, and for her to be referred to as the Apostle of the Apostles. Well, that's AA. That's your rotating star where Pluto is right now, right under Altair, AA, Alkali, and that is the rotating star, the elastic band. And we've got the Harry and MM, the wife of Prince Harry, MM something, Mark of L. I've got a big post on her. So yeah, that elastic band, woof. It's the Eye of the Tiger passage, and the Chalice passage is here where Neptune is retrograding right now. Right here. And we got the moon conjunct to Saturn today. Goodness. Modern theologians do not accept the description, and the Gospels do not support the view that Mary was a prostitute, but a loyal supporter of Jesus in faith and possibly financially. Okay. So that was me going on about the Artemis, and I like what was said here. Science is the art of creating suitable illusions which the fool believes or argues against, but the wise man enjoys for their beauty or their ingenuity, without being blind to the fact that they are human veils and curtains concealing the abysmal darkness of the unknowable. Everything I'm talking about. Uno video, great video. Storm rising now, the first of many to come, including the splash. So I had started off this video talking about the splash, and that whale's tail that I've been talking about for years is coming. To crown the falling of the Queen of Hell, Artemis, Virgo, Pesperone, home is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter. She became the queen of the underworld after her abduction by her uncle Jacques, JJ, Jupiter, Hades, the god of the underworld. This is Jupiter in Sagittarius and Virgo, earth and fire taking over from water and air. Nice image of Mars and Venus. You know, the dark side of Venus is when Venus becomes like Mars, and the dark side of Mars is when Mars is too charged by female energy. You know, you got to be fully that and fully that to merge your Mars and Venus and your moon, your sun and your moon. This is the very ecstasy of love whose violent property foredoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. As long as our Mars and Venus are perverted, We've got Libra ruled by Venus and Taurus ruled by Venus. Mars is in detriment in Taurus and Mars is in detriment in Libra. We've got Scorpio ruled by Mars, feminine energy, and we've got Taurus ruled by Venus, feminine energy. So Scorpio, Taurus is the feminine energy of Mars and Venus being used properly, and Aries and Libra is the masculine energy of Mars being used properly. You can be the alpha male and you can be diplomatic. Mars in Libra, alpha male, Mars in Aries. Venus used properly, Mars in Scorpio, having gone through the chalice, the well, Scorpio, 2016, Kate and Willie came and opened the chalice, the well of the dragon in the chateau next to me, to open this masculine axis. I live in the middle of the cross, the heart vortex, with the two RG Richard green rings from the magician's nephew, and the axis is being flipped to the masculine, these green rings. That's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm holding here, because I work out my subconscious work afterwards. So Scorpio, you've got Mars that rules Scorpio. Yeah, I've explained it. So the feminine Mars in Scorpio, and Taurus, Venus is that earthly, down-to-earth, practical, making money. The female energy is the right money to make money energy. Taurus and Venus is about your values, your possessions, your money. And that's female. So women are the money makers and men are the protectors and diplomats. Aries and Libra. Dear Dracula, everything is fine here and nobody suspects anything. And this is before I even knew who all this Liz Truss is. Eliza Macbeth, Ron Line. Artemis launch, 11-9, Mars. So it never happened on the 2nd. On Aldebaran, Mars retro, bullseye. So again, you know, it's just, he's called himself Vulcan. That was on the 14th of July, and you know that Mars on Aldebaran. So let's go back to those dates. So the 9th of the 3rd, which is the 3-9, Momo froze 39 Asians. The Irishman. So we had Venus on Regulus, Sun in Leo. So I actually stopped to have something to eat and looked at my emails. I've missed somebody's reading this morning, and I hope the person will be able to come back tonight or Saturday morning. So I'm sorry about that. I do have a lot going on, as always, as you all do. So this was that post from the 31st. I will show you I'll show you Stellarium afterwards, but you see, tomorrow for the full moon, we've got, well, for the 9/11, we've got Mars absolutely bang on Aldebaran. Are they going to let me go through these pictures? Why can't I go through? Up. Okay. Famous picture that you know I always show you. So tomorrow we've also got Jupiter and the moon. Right now we've got the moon conjunct Saturn. That was the 14th of July. So you've got the men in black. Macron, who announced himself to be Vulcan. He said, I'm not Jupiter, I'm Vulcan. So when the two Jude, Pete and Paul rise, we got Jack, we got Zeus. Zeus back to front. This is the god of the underworld. Emmanuel, the famous film. Peter Sellers with the shadow, a completely different shadow with his arm risen on the wheelchair. It's all about the Invictus Games. Harry and Meghan coming for the games. The eclipse. solar eclipse we've got on the 25th. When is Artemis going to be sent off? Will it coincide with this, the crowning of the stag, the Instagram, Mars making Venus, making Taurus his? There is Vulcan, the blacksmith, Jupiter, Martin, Mars and Tintin, Jupiter. And this whole period will end the 22nd of the 3rd when Mars is on the wand of Merlin. This is the crowning of this passage that we're going through. There we've got worshipping the underworld, the fertility gods, the horns. Taurus becomes the horns of the ram. So aborigine is short for your abs. For your abs, it's absurd. I'll be reading you that, but you know, this is the AB, absolutely fabulous. The A and the B, the ending, and that P is flipped. The B is also the 9-6, the G, and the P. So the appies. It's all about, we've just had in China, we've got the bullseye, big earthquake. It was 66, mega 66, which is FF, which is it's the French Federation. And we had Burleigh horse trials, and we had Piggy French, Piggy March, Ney, who won number 22. And the whole event was sponsored by Mars and Fairfax and Favour, FF. And the day after, there is that FF 66 magnitude earthquake on the North Gate, which is the egg, the North Gate, the head, the true 5-pointed star. Okay, so the two sides of Amy Winehouse, Virgo, and Lady Gaga, the two sides of Venus. We've got the BB 22, Catch 22, the two sides of Venus. This is the Artemis and the nanny goats, the Hecats, becoming one. Taurus, the mother, is out. She's made barren. And they told us with that passage, and we've got now coming out the egg. Milky Way flipped to mile by mile, man by man. 1313 is 26, the completion. There she is, Europa on the bull, and these pictures you know. And there we've got the 5-pointed star. We've got diddly diddly dee, two ladies, and the two horns above. And he is now taking the head of the gendarmerie, of the new police force, of the new, people have no idea what we're coming into. So the earthquake, the BB, the 213, it's the 8 closed with the sword in the stone. And there's the A. Fucius, the 13th sign, is what you've got to get past. And this is on that 322. Check out, we would have just had a black moon. The moon is here. Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune will be back here, and Venus just on the eye of Cetus and of Aries, the Sheraton eye. Right. I'd written 2-9 Artemis launch. It's the same thing as 9/11 warning us. So then it was cancelled to the 3rd. 25th of the 10th, Mars retro, so your bullseye, Aldebaran. So 11/9 Mars go, Mercury will go retrograde on the 11th. And then on the 25th, Mars goes retro over the bullseye. And then 322, Mars on the baguette of the Merlion president, Jupiterian, Emmanuel Macron, se voit plutôt comme Vulcain, the god of the fire, Roman fire. Okay, so that's another old post from 2020, which has very good information. They've brought down number 23 house. So in our village, they brought down the 23rd house. DNA strands for the Whore of Babylon ritual. Sun moves into Virgo, 20. So this was 23rd, but officially, but it's still in Leo. Okay, so I'm talking all about what's going on now. Taurus, Moloch, the Whore of Babylon bull, the fixed, they kill the fixed cross. We had 9/11, then we had 3/11 Fukushima, and now the Taurus Scorpio is killed to merge the cardinal with the mutable signs. So little Gemini and Aries and all it's killing the fixed cross. So you can read that because that is there's always so much. And then to the Egyptians, Taurus the bull symbolized both Osiris and his sister Isis, who were represented as a bull god and cow goddess respectively. In Greek legend, Taurus is identified with the disguise adopted by Zeus in yet another of his amorous adventures. So remember the film? It's all in the film of the Baron I've been showing you. He suddenly appeared amongst them as a magnificent white bull, but one which was so gentle that they felt no fear. Europa and her maidens gathered flowers and made garlands, which they hung around the animal's neck. And such was their trust in his docility that Europa climbed on his back. However, at this moment the bull plunged into the sea and swam away furiously with the terrified girl. When they reached Crete, Zeus revealed his true identity and ravished her. She was to bear him 3 sons, the first of which Minos introduced the bull cult to Crete. So these are the 3 kings. Had that in the football. Bob Marley, 3 little birds. This is the new, got the horns on the top of the 5-pointed star and the 3 at the bottom. In ancient times, a new culture suddenly exploded across the vast terrain of Asia, Europe, and Africa that was an evolution of the primeval goddess culture of that Neolithic age that has previously existed for many thousands of years. That earlier agrarian nature-worshipping culture had featured the earth goddess and her son, the green man, who was annually born as all new forms of nature in the spring and then died with the falling leaves and rotting plants each autumn. Observation of the 7 stars of the Pleiades, so that's Taurus, was an essential part of this early nature religion. Their rise is a spring and their descent in autumn divided the year into 2 parts and corresponded closely to the life and death cycle of the green man. When the new culture arrived, the green man acquired horns and he became intimately associated with the virile bull. The Pleiadians had also acquired bovine associations and became part of the zodiacal sign of the bull sun, Taurus. A new complete culture known as the bull cult had emerged, also referred to as the primeval Shavite culture because its underpinnings closely resembled what would later become the modern Shavite culture in India. This is all your Om Gang, New Age. This new cult quickly became a universal religion and succeeded in uniting the Asian, European, and African peoples known as the Babylonians, Greeks, Egyptians, Celts, Persians, Anatolians, and more. So it's exactly where we are. And I just go through all the old pictures, I suppose. Eris is the police force. Iris, irrigation, taking the water. Okay, it's blocking. I'm not going to try and open those pictures, the whole thing blocked, but there you've got San Saturnin being dragged behind a bull. He was killed, and Saint Martin de Tours took his place. You've got the false god Moloch, all the same things. And I had pictures of that house that was pulled down, the DNA strands. It's 1st of September 2020, before we had Saturn enter into Capricorn, and we had the first clamp down that March, or the March before, and then the house came down, and it was the whole COVIDs. So Amethyst 1 moon launch is set for first quarter half moon on 3/9, obviously. 36399363 369. The line broke and the moon key got choked. Today, moon in Libra, waxing crescent, Saturday, 3rd September, moon in fall, on the lotus lily flower, heart of Scorpio, Antares, which is the chalice, which is the well, which is the poison chalice. A poison chalice is the Last Supper, and it's into the eternal life, or you get swallowed in the well. So on the lotus lily flower, heart of Scorpio, Antares is the name of Merkel and Harry's daughter. Is this the true eagle, last egg, 9/11, Mars, ruler of Scorpio and Aries, where moon is 3/9, and Uranus and head of snake are currently in Aries. Mars, ruler of Aries, Scorpio. Yeah, you can read that. So I explain about Antares. So Antares is in the energy of Mars and Jupiter. And I talk here as well about Sting. He came up and starts saying that Ukraine, it's all a trap. He is the kiss of Judas, betrayal. And he did only sing the song Russians. Russians. Go and listen to his song Russians again, one of his most famous. And I said the floods are coming, the Holy Grail. And the next day, my property, we've had no rain in months, but we still haven't had any rain, but we had 10 minutes of outrageous grail. Really outrageous Holy Grail, just that on the 3rd. So those are all the pictures. Am I going to open them all? There was the moon. That was on the 2nd. That's on the 2nd. And then the moon went on to Antares. It's good. They're going to block me. They know I'm doing these videos. Oh, here we go. So we had the preparation for the downpour in the sky. That's showing what Antares. Russians. According to 4 canonical Gospels, Judas betrayed Jesus to the Sanhedrin in the Garden of Gethsemane by kissing him and addressing him as Rabbi, to reveal his identity in the darkness to the crowd who had come to arrest him. His name is often used synonymously with betrayal or treason. In Europe and America, there is growing feeling of hysteria conditioned to respond to all the threats. In the rhetorical speeches of the Soviets, Mr. Khrushchev said, "We will bury you." I don't subscribe to this point of view. It would be such an ignorant thing to do. If the Russians love their children too, how can I save my little boy from Oppenheimer's deadly toy? There is no monopoly of common sense on either side of the political fence. We share the same biology regardless. These are the lyrics of the song. To put the words in the mouth of the president, there's no such thing as a winnable war. It's a lie we don't believe anymore. Mr. Reagan, so that was something from the time. But what might save us, me and you, is if the Russians love their children too. So I'm kind of mixing, not sure what I was doing there, but amazing. So there you had, on the 3rd of the 9th, the moon right on the chalice, on the heart of Antares. So it's opposite Mars, Moon-Mars opposition in Taurus. And this is showing Cape Canaveral. Tampa, Florida is where the Kennedy Space Center is. And this is Scorpio. This is, I always talk about Florida with Miami, with Hawaii. Hawaii is when Scorpio and Libra should merge again on either side of Aquarius, Capricorn, South America, North America. And again, this is all around the Canary Islands and, well, that's in Spain, but it's, there's the Bahamas, the Canary Islands. So that is the 3rd of the 9th. So you got Moon opposite Aldebaran, Mars just on Aldebaran for 3-9. And you had everybody retrograde. Scorpio retrograde back in Taurus, Neptune back in Aquarius, and Uranus making this big square to Saturn with Jupiter the King in the middle. And Mars making a square to the Sun, and the Sun making a square to the Moon. I mean, you imagine thinking that you could set a rocket off on those astrological dates with everything retrograde. I mean, it was all planned to not happen. The moon phases. So on that day, on that day of the moon, it was just before first quarter moon, and we'd had the new black moon in Leo, so it's always bringing up the new black moon was here in Leo, and it was all on, it was, I'm not sure if it was complete, was it completely on Regulus, the new moon? We'll see. Yeah, it was. It was. With Venus just entering Leo. So now, back to the thirds. And that moon on Antares. And Pluto under here. So this was all before I had the big storm I saw in the sky. Mercury exalted at home in Artemis. Right, let's not go through all those pics. So the next morning, early, this is all the Grail. And these are little videos I posted, which are very impressive, of that 10-minute downpour that we had. And then I posted videos of lavettes. I found a very good old one, Eagle and the Serpents, which is talking about the two tribes of the snake and the eagle, which will never let Scorpio and Libra merge. It is Scorpio that rises as the eagle at the moment. The head of the Milky Way is in Taurus. In 9 years, it will be in this opening of the lotus flower, the coming back. It's not where Pluto is. Under Altair is where we make the spin and we merge and find our inner eagle. It's not getting trapped in the Bermuda Triangle with the diving duck, the wolf and the lyra. So we're living the fiery serpent on the pole, moon on Libra now for Holy Grail storm we just had this morning, moon on Antares Scorpio, heart tomorrow for moon launch, obviously, so it never happened. This is the second. I said when Scorpio and Libra should merge again as one eagle, egg. It's the egg. They're going to kill the egg. They're going to kill Scorpio. They're going to hoof her. Moon River that carries the wisdom. My village is egg, nan, on, egg on. It's the egg. So the battle of the eagle and the serpent was interesting. Enki versus Enel, the two N's, the eagle versus the serpent. Then this is just in the newspapers, Popeye, pop-off time, Black Friday, Venus, Vendredi, Black Hole Passage. And somebody called in France, a man who's now running the French education is called Pape Nedai. And Popeye 3223 out of 56 nucleus reactors shut down. 23 out of 56 nucleus, that's what the news in France. 56 is the time Pluto spent in Cetus, Levis, Elvis, the unconscious collective, Pisces and Victorian era. The whale's tail splash as Pluto end the say 10 signs from Pisces peak to Pool Sagittarius, where Pluto's last retro before entering Capricorn. 10 signs, horseshoe between Pisces to Sagittarius, closing of wheel, pop off time, note the candle flame. So that's a famous Au clair de la lune. It's the Moon Mansata of Beethoven. This is Moon River in the light of the moon. This is a famous French song. My friend Pierre, lend me a feather to write a word. My candle is dead. I've got no more fire. Open your door for the love of God in the light of the moon. Pierre replies, I don't have a feather. I'm in bed. I'm at the neighbours. So he's with Mercury, Sagittarius Mercury. Je crois qu'elle y est dans sa cuisine. She's in the kitchen. Use your lighter in the light of the moon. We only see a little bit. Look for your feather. Look for the fire. En cherchant de la sorte, je ne sais ce qu'on trouvera, mais je sais que la porte sur eux se ferme. The door is closing. Jupiter has no feather. He's only got the whale's tail in Pisces and the diving duck in Sagittarius. He is not. So in my little cafe where I read this, he's got Popeye everywhere in the cafe. He's now got the Canadian flags as well. Okay, I'll open it. Place of Peeplets. So funny. I love my village cafe, but they know I know. And we just smile at each other because I don't know what they know, but I'm in a hot village for sure. Pat Nedai. This is the guy, Martin Luther King. Came to Toulouse, the Minister of the Education, to talk about, so basically schools are just going to become military. Electricity, gas, the fear of being cut off, and they're showing you why would they have to show you a candle. This is Princess Diana, Elton John, the candle in the flame. It was sung for Marilyn Monroe. We're very prudent. There he is with his Elizabeth. We've got Boris and LiZZy in England and Macron and Elizabeth in France. Before the French, pète les plombs, PP, petit pass, before they go mad. They pète le plomb is lead, plomb is lead, so from lead to gold. You know, they're going to harvest the awakening that they're making for their energy. It's all about energy. It's all about creating enough fear to make energy. That's not the pure way to find your merging of your sun and your moon and your Mars and your Venus. Look at the candle again. 32 out of 56 reactors in maintenance. So 64, 56, 64 is one step after 56. It's just after when you've merged Pisces, when you've got through your fears and your imagination. And then there was the Gorbachev, and Putin wasn't there. So just creating more friction. Gorbachev and the Iron Lady Thatcher. It's the time. All this is prepared. And we've got the vaccines coming back. Okay. More Anima Animus posts. Father and daughter. Very good. Very good. More these Anima Animus. That's another of the Holy Grail hits. Okay, this post. One for all for one, 1441. So we're coming now to that closure of the 14 pieces of Osiris. We're leaving the mutable cross. When we leave the mutable cross, we've had all the openings of the Milky Way. That Medusa opens and shuts. And you either get crucified in the gap or we correctly merge the cardinal and fixed cross. All for one, one for all makes the upright five-pointed star, the three crosses, the upside-down pentagram, two horns above and three blind mice below. Goldie, silver lock, sun, moon, north, south, Mars, Venus, west, east, closing of the cross, fortune, corners, always one leg, hidden hand, Sol Dire, under the horizon at the feet of Jesus, the poot, the whore is in. So 4 crosses, we're only given 3. You've got the whore on the last cross. It's when they kill the female energy that you've got to transmute. In Scorpio, you've got to get through the well of the chalice. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, water axis, feminine. They're turning poor little Virgo into this, whore, killing Taurus, Scorpio line. And you've got to get through this passage for the women. Otherwise, things will happen like your daughters destructing themselves. They've got to see their mother go through this process. So the passage, the bridge over troubled times, can be done properly. The Leo da Vinci, you've got water, fire, earth, air, and the universe. You stand upright, the 3 crosses. There is Rachel Blackmore showing the 2 horns, the 2 bent arms, and the 14 pieces of Osiris, number 14. Mary Magdalene, this is all the Artemis wiping the feet of Jesus. There you can see the 4 crosses. It's just the North Star spin, the 4 crosses, the mystery of the 4 crosses surrounding the cross of Jesus. You've got to be that 13th all-seeing observer, the critical points to find the balance, to merge the mutable cross and come onto this fixed cross, the 4 humours. The 4 humours are air, sanguine, water, phlegmatic, dry, melancholic, hot, choleric, fire, earth, water, air. This is at the end of the Middle Ages. We lost all this information. The 3777, liberty, fraternity, or death. Now you've got the uprights and the upside down. You've got to find the both to find that universal. We're at that point, and Lars's wonderful picture that shows us that 5th higher consciousness when the wheel is properly closed, with Aquarius and Capricorn, Taurus black, Aries yellow, the sun and the moon merge, and we've got Scorpio white water and red Libra, and those Jupiter takes his place back, and Mercury has fully Jack and Jill merged to bring us to the true twin peaks. There you've got the north and south node. The snake of the Milky Way is always on the equinox. Looks like they're going backwards on our charts. It's just that wherever you're born will determine where the equinox was on your chart, so we can see where your head of your snake is, what direction in life you're going to, and where you've come from, and will you manage to merge your sun and your moon, your north, south, west, east, Mars, Venus. That is all. That is the dragon. That is the snake. Will be tilted as long. My village is the 5-pointed star, and it's the 322, where Mars will have his baguette on Merlin. This is the egg, Aignan, that Puss in Boots kills. The Ophiuchus stands on the Scorpio, stands on the well, and the dragon's well is opened next to me. I told you in that year, just before COVID, I don't have so many owls anymore, but honestly, in 2019, I thought the dragon of hell was being born by, it didn't sound like owls I had up in my roof. It sounded like a dragon, but they do make incredible noises, barn owls, but I've known barn owls all my life, and those noises of that baby egg. So through the Stargates, Scorpio, and the conduit wormhole from Solar Trinity near Pleiades, that's in Taurus. This is what's going on. that keyhole. Okay, we're moving on. Think pink. So this is again pictures from the newspapers. I mean, I see so much all the time. I just can't delve into everything. I just do what I can when I can. And I don't think we're going to open this all up. But we've got the Rose Festival, the Rose Pink Panther, PP99GG66, Petite Pince, Prince, La Vie Villain Rose, Rose is pink, skin, normally the colour of innocence. English people are known as roast beef. Rose is pink. The butt of our children and associated with cancer, 69, Cali, destruction. The brick wall, the big wheel, of course, white water, red air, black earth, windmills, the Windsors, wild is the wind, flip-flop into a new age cage, WWMM, JFK, jellyfish, diaphragm, Kennedy cut, Pink Floyd and the wall. So Rose Festival, and you've got the wall, you've got little black eyes peeking out. So that pink can also be made from Taurus, black, and the white, and the white of Taurus. It can also be made from black and reds, but it's basically the passage from Pisces to Aquarius, white water, to red Aquarius. That was a good post from a friend. As once you recognize it, you are through the solar lunar plexus, jellyfish, dia, umbrella, frame, UN dome, anima of a man, moon, Venus, mother, and animus of a woman, sun, Mars, father. So the negative animus, according to Jung, the animus does not so often appear in the form of erotic fantasy or mood. It is more apt to take the form of a hidden sacred conviction. When such a conviction is preached with a loud, insistent masculine voice, or imposed on others by means of brutal emotional scenes, the underlying masculinity in a woman is easily recognized. However, even if in a woman who is outwardly very feminine, the animus can be an equally hard and inexorable power. One may find oneself up against something in a woman that is obstinate, cold, and completely inaccessible. One of the favourite themes that the animus repeats endlessly in that ruminations of this kind of woman goes like this: the only thing that I want is love, and he doesn't love me. Or in this situation, there are only two possibilities, and both are equally bad. The animus is basically influenced by a woman's father. The father endows his daughter's animus with a special colouring of arguable, incontestable, true convictions. Convictions that never include the personal reality of the woman herself as she actually is. This is why the animus sometimes is a demon of death. So this is when you get women that kill unconsciously, that don't let their son get married, that overpower hide their sexual energy through their relationship with their children, with their husband. They don't own that energy themselves, and that Cinderella complex is going to get flip-flopped, and the women are going to have to stand up, and if they don't recognize this energy is ruthless, Capricorn is ruthless, unless she finds her fishtail, finds that material to spiritual. By nursing secret destructive attitudes, a wife can bring her husband and a mother, her child, into illness, accident, or even death. Or she may decide to keep the children from marrying a deeply hidden form of evil that rarely comes to the surface of the mother's conscious mind. A strange passivity and paralysis of feeling, or a deep insecurity that can lead almost to a sense of nudity, may sometimes be the result of an unconscious animus opinion. So you can finish reading that, but that is, that is the energy of Taurus, Scorpio, and Mars and Venus used wrongly with the sun and the moon. And then this is how I find out stuff. An Uno video, the goat ritual, Serena Williams. So I looked at the video and then I just wrote very quickly, amazing. I knew nothing of all this. Great editing and music, and bingo as always. Venus and Serena were the two boys, 7-year-old twins. I've been posting a video for years. Here it is, 11 and 12-year-old Venus and Serena Williams on Trans World Sports. So check them out. There they are. So you see these two little girls are actually two little boys. They're the Gemini twins. And they are now becoming the bully, everything we've been reading, the queen of, they are in Mars and Gemini taking over Taurus to make this black sun. The black sun is when the female, the moon, and the sun just bring on the unconscious feminine. So it's quite sad to watch these boys turned into fat, aggressive women. Right, so let's stop that. Come back to this. Old twins, Gemini, Matador. They have become the Artemis, Metador, Meteor, Femme, MC, Solar, Virgo, Artemis, Lara Croft, Me Too, Bully, Lara Croft, the new Black Madonna. And as always, if you can get through this passage, if you've been through this passage, I've certainly been through this passage in my life. I've lived, and one day I will get my books out, but it will be my story mixed with astrology to explain what I was going through, what was happening on my chart. That's how I will explain. But I lived, I really, really have had to live completely to make my unconscious world, Pisces, become tangible, physical. I had to live it so I can have such a deep feeling for the archetypes. Artemis goes to the moon exalted in Taurus, in fall in Capricorn. Pluto is in Sagittarius, black horse, so they show her on a black horse in a video, to enter Capricorn last retrograde. The sea goat, Capricorn, becomes the merlion, Jupiter in Pisces, ruler of Sagittarius, and Pisces on whale's tail, Venus, will.i.am, telltale, Levis, Elvis, splash. Venus is exalted in Pisces, sea, moon, star, and now Artemis takes dark side of Venus. Black Friday is Black Vendredi, Black Venus. Venus in Virgo is dark side of the moon. The end of the pale face arse, Milky Way, becomes Black Betty. Levi, Elvis rises. Mars currently in Taurus, and all that. So again, it's explaining the siren is the mermaid, the splash of the whale's tail is coming. The sirena is a mythological sea creature from Filipino culture in some regions of the Philippines, particularly Bicol and Visayas. Sirenas are known as Maginandara and portrayed as vicious mermaids, like sirens of Greek mythology. Sirenas are often portrayed as mermaid-like creatures who live under the sea. So again, it's the dark side. It's this same creature. It's the same creature here. The Chimera in Russia, where Chelsea was left by her parents. The two arms is the horns. It's the Scorpio. Look, that's the Scorpio sting. So with all this going on, Mars, we've had Venus on Regulus squaring Mars in Aldebaran, bringing up this whore of Babylon. You taking the snake's power from Scorpio, taking the chalice. There's the Temptations. Papa was a Rolling Stone. 1972, the same year that Lucifer Rising came out. And that is just me saying stuff. We've got the lunar eclipse on the 7/11, 8/11. And Artemis, 3rd of September, cancelled. They're really going to make the big bang. Yep. Painting done of the road to my lake before. They've now cut all these trees, this alley archway, and they've left just a few trees, all the mature trees gone. This is a documentary about the wolf dogs that have been released in Tuscany, the Tusk. And you've got this big image of the new woman and the wolf. So this is what I saw here in Lupiac. They're wolf dogs. So they're introducing them back into the wilds. Thousands of them. And this is known as, the land where I live is known as the French Tuscany. Last winter, and that's so they can be trained to track humans. So at Lupiac, Loop Wolf is where I saw the wolf, and I've seen the meat left by hunters, carcasses for the wild ones. The wolves are being reintroduced. Countryside living is going to be wild for sure. They can be trained to track humans too. There's always a darker side for the plans of the fertility god's return. Great little video on Medusa, the story of Medusa, betrayed priestess of Greek mythology, where you learn that she was hell hath no fury than that of a scorned woman. Same story as Mary, Queen of Scots, and Elizabeth I. V for victory is the Pisces passage through the abyss of the unconscious collective. Moon, Venus, anima, feminine side of a man, and the unconscious collective, masculine side of a woman. Sun, Mars, Animus. Venus is exalted in Pisces, but there are two sides to Venus, morning and evening, exalted in Pisces. So Mercury is also morning and evening, showing the two sides, and he is an 88-day cycle. That is not the closing of the Milky Way. That's not the 88 constellations completed. He's a trickster. He's a joker. So they're using his morning and evening star to take over from Venus. So I've got a fighter pilot coming over the house. The echo is Venus is exalted, but there are two sides. So, on the 25th of October 2020, the Liberian flagged crude oil tanker Nave Andromeda. So on the same date as this solar eclipse was the famous 2020 pirate ship in the Isle of Wight, which is where my great-grandmother, I always explain, she lived. She was taken by Juliet Cameron, the whole Alice in Wonderland Theosophical Society, and brought up to become a lady before she was married off to Henry Cotton. Okay, so oil tanker Nave Andromeda Pisces issued a distress call while in the English Channel just off the coast of the Isle of Wight in response to the presence of 7 stowaways, so Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, who had boarded the ship in Lagos, Nigeria. Perseus, Mars on the autumn equinox, the pirate boat Mars takes Andromeda, was caught. Medusa, before she was cursed and given in October 2021, Mars Perseus was in Virgo, and he handed the power to the virgin girl Virgo of the dark side of Venus, and that's when they cut all the trees started to cut all the trees in the forest down, the massive boucherie. Venus, Serena, Williams, Mermaid, Siren, the splash is the Will.I.Am, Williams, Telltale is coming up. Change of gods, change of power. Uranus will be conjunct Algol Medusa in next year to come, as it was for WW2. It is right now conjunct, and head of Milky Way, Snake and Mars for World War II. Same thing, and Mars just was conjunct solar eclipse, 25th October, autumn equinox, same date. Queen Elizabeth I of England and Mary, Queen of Scots, were two of the greatest, most legendary rivals in recorded history. So you need to know the whole story. It's very much what happened to me when I got married off at 16, married at 17, and then I had that wake-up call and the 8-year divorce case, and I became like her. I had to get through. You got to know your beast, your power, your sexual transmutation. Otherwise, you know, the story of seashells at the seashore I'll show you. She sells seashells history. There she is. Images. Victorian fossil hunter Mary Anning was the inspiration for the tongue twister She Sells Seashells. It was originally a song with words. So just look at this picture. Look at this woman. This is Virgo. There is the Victorian. There's Jane Eyre. The twee prudes meets the shoreline. Earth, sand meets sea. And she sells Mercury, commercial, ruler of Virgo, and she meets the abyss, she meets that line. So this is the story about her. Okay, so then we had Burleigh this weekend. It's a big horse trials. Now, I'm not taking away from these riders and, you know, this little mare. But when you listen to her interview, she said she was talking of her mare, her little horse. The course was unbelievably big, 5-star. I've never seen so many damaged horses. It was absolutely horrible to watch. And yet it's the only sport in the world where men and women compete equally. And it's always these little women, these Virgo women, number 22, and the name of her horse was Chimera. The name of the Russian Chimera, and of this beast, the Chimera. So at this event, you had, so she's known as Piggy French. She's number 22. The horse is Vanir Chimera, Definira Vanir, a race of Norse gods who warred against and later reconciled with the Azir Chimera. In Greek mythology, Chimera was a daughter of Danus, who was worshipped on the Greek island of Rhodes. Principally, she was venetured in Chimeras, which was named after her. Homer gives a description of the Chimera, in the Iliad, saying that she was of divine stock, not of men. In the forepart, a lion, in the hinder, a serpent, and in the midst, a goat. So we've got Capricorn in the middle, we've got Leo, and we've got the snake, and we'll be looking at charts. But that was the launch, but you've already got here the lion, the snake, and you've got Capricorn, you've got the goat here, this beast, these three beasts here, and they're, you know, bringing up their fertility god Mars in feminine Taurus. I've shown you the Song of Barbara, the Black Eagle, and don't forget the words of Simon and Garfunkel, Sodom and Gomorrah. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. Then the sign said, the words on the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. So very few people can actually read the sound of silence, and that's what my job is. So look, you've got this song just basically says, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains. In restless dreams, I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light, I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, babbling, babble, babble, Babylon, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. And there, the rest of the song. Okay. It frequently happens that women who do not really love their husbands are jealous and destroy their friendships. They want the husband to belong entirely to them because they themselves do not belong to him. Yeah, they would rather just be in security. Remember stereo MCs? Na na, na na. Remember, I'm gonna get myself connected. I ain't gonna go blind for the light which is reflected. I see through you, I see through you, I see through you, I see through you. Your dirty tricks, you make me sick. I see through you, I see through you. Gonna do it again, gonna do it again. Remember that? Nah, gotta do it right, 'cause something ain't right. Come on, if you make sure you're connected, the writing's on the wall. But if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall, stumble you might fall. I ain't gonna go blind. So brilliant. I remember I absolutely loved that when that came out, that whole album a long time ago. I care little in the existence of a heaven or hell. Self-respect does not allow me to guide my acts with an eye towards heavenly salvation or hellish punishment. I pursue the good in life because it is beautiful and attracts me, and shun the bad because it is ugly and repulsive. All our acts should originate from the spring of unselfish love, where there be a continuation after death or not. Yeah, few people can do that. So these are pictures of the September, and I never show you all my pictures because I do a lot of pictures, but this is the Narnia forest 1 year after the cutting down, and there is a reason. I think I want to show you the Narnia tree. This village is called Zion, and the mayor of the village is the daughter of Mitterrand, and she's called Elizabeth. I mean, give me a break. So, you know, this is the Narnia, this is the... There is the Narnia tree that stood like a lamppost between two pools of water. Just cut down like that. Yeah, this all happened on the day my son-in-law took his life, and he had Mars. Mars was on Spica, and Mercury was going backwards, and Venus came in. Or no, maybe not. No, it's Mars giving the power of Venus. Yeah. Back to Earth, back to a reality. Sol 211, or the Gemini SS. However do you want me? Remember, back to Earth, back to black. And then we had and this is what we're going to get into now. This is big. So we had the earthquake in China. Gate of divine prowess. This is the northern gate, the divine might or gate of divine prowess. Northern gate 9-6. So the moon was 9.96 Capricorn, Kill Bill, Forbidden City. Monday 6-9 Cancer, 9-6 Capricorn, September 6. 6-6 FF is 22222. It's the 3 V's, 3 legs. Killed over 50,000, evacuated after, they say 6-8, but it was 6-6 killed. 6-8 just before 6-9. Mars on Aldebaran, bullseye, breast, tit of the Musketeer, Venus, Silvergate, Taurus, smashed, square Pluto in Sagittarius, retro before entering Capricorn. Venus in Leo, feet of Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mickey Mouse, back to black, Vendredi, Venus Friday, Venus square Mars, Venus on Regulus, square to Aldebaran, Mars on bullseye, Sun in Leo square to Moon. So let me show you some pictures. This is the Gate of Divine Prowess. It was built in 1420. So again, it's all the Elizabethan periods. The Gate of Divine Prowess. We've got, that is the longitude, latitude of the place. And let's look at a map. This is in the North Gate in Cork, in Islands. So it's actually on the same line, island to China on the map. So this map, see if he comes back up. I'd wanted to do this video yesterday morning, so check out the bullseye, the tits, and you've got right above the Northern Gates, Northgate Bridge, Northgate Bridge, and that is, look at that, and it's even got ones, it's even got the 5-pointed star and that bullseye passage in the middle. Next to Mongolia, next to Pakistan. And here's the Philippines. That is where the story of the Serena, that story I just told you, came from the Philippines, of this mermaid coming out of the sea. So there is going to be a reaction from this. Meaning of poison chalice. An assignment, award, an honour which is likely to prove a disadvantage or source of problems to the recipients. I've got other things to read to you about that. More poignant. Okay, that's me talking about my work. So the Wales family, you know, the Windsors, Wales, Galway, Charlie, De Gaulle, Telltale, Where is Willie, Save Willie, Venus, Serena, Siren, Will.i.am, Telltale, the Whales Tale, Splash. If only people could see, Diana showed you the triple goddesses. You were shown the shy, prude, emotional, in love girl, Virgo, Armistice, the 16-year-old ripe fruit, round, delicious and right, Virgo, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Bridget Jones, Amy Winehouse at 16, and Diana at 19. Then you were shown the transition to Mother, Full Moon. Then you were shown the rebellion, Hell hath no fury, that of a scorned woman that awakens from the child in a golden cage. Then you were shown the whore of Babylon, the dark side of Venus and her destruction, death and rebirth. And the underworld, goddess of hell, is born. She lies in Paris. Piggy French just won Burleigh. Burleigh horse trials is the butter, the Burleigh. La Marianne, butter wouldn't drip off his mouth, his tongue. Miss Piggy French, La Marianne is born. Eliza Macbeth born. The LiZZy, Eliza, Eliza, hormonal, Mona Lisa is made sterile. Diana was often considered an aspect of a triple goddess, known as Diana Triformis, Diana, Luna, and Hecate. According to historian C.M. Green, these were neither different goddesses nor an amalgamation of different goddesses. They were Diana, Diana as huntress, Diana as the moon, Diana of the underworld. At her sacred grove on the shores of Lake Nemi, Diana was venerated as a triple goddess, beginning in the late 16th century. Then you have that famous image of Diana meeting Mercury and Jupiter, Michael Jackson, astrologically. This is such an important symbolic unconscious. We've got yellow and black. She was not Cancer. She was born with Sun in Gemini and Moon in Sagittarius on the true constellations. And this is the making the yellow, black, the bee, Sagittarius and Capricorn, using the child as Taurus black, little Gemini, Archangel Michael is Aquarius, not Mercury, Gemini, Jack, Jupiter's son, MJ, Mercury, Jupiter, rule the skull and bone, mutable cross. MJ, Gemini, child, the new Dauphin, black sun, sun meets Diana. Virgo, Artemis, child, is Virgo, the Taurus moon, exalted in moon, goddess. Diana, Ceres, to become the new Black Betty, Hecate, or Black Moon, queen of hell. Dirty Diana, whore of Babylon. That's what he sung. It's the death of the mother moon and birth of the hidden whore behind every mother in their daughters. The granddaughter, next generation is coming. The 3 discs, 3 stages of the moon. Yellow, black, Merlion, Sagittarius, Capricorn, B13. It's all in there, even the 450 up. Incredible, these videos, when you go back over how they tell us. How do you create liftoff? How do you sound the siren? Serena, Will.i.am, Telltale, Harry, Red Mars, Me Too, Bully, Raging Bulls, Whales, Whale Tails, Telltales. You create the Burleigh, FF66, Fairfax and Favor, Magnitude, Earth Cow. So these guys, I mean, there's nothing wrong with these people. I'm sure they're not aware of what they're doing. Oh, Fairfax and Flavor I put. It's Favor. So it's all leather. It's all cowhides. It's all killing the bull. So they are Fairfax, Favor, Burleigh store. So images, I spelt it wrong. But you see, they do boots, and all the people, English people of a certain snobism, they all have to have the bags and the shoes, and that's what the whole sport is always about, sponsors. So that event with all the fools and all the thousands of people who watch it and all the people who put money in, and they wonder why there's an earthquake the next day where 66 people are killed. FF is 66 because your ignorance charges the batteries of all rituals on earth. Till you see through the mirror, that mirror's about to get smashed, you create ritualistic events. And it's all about the matador, the meteor, the meter, the groundhog dog, Mercury, weather, we at her. You create the Burleigh, FFF, Fairfax and Favor, Magnitude, Earth Cows, Hide, Quake, Quack, 007, Boom, Boom, Remember the Fox, Boom, Boom, Quan in Beijing at the Northern Gate because Mars fire is on Taurus Earth, Bullseye. Whoa, Black Betty, the mirror is about to be smashed, Bully or Bullied, the new royal scandal surrounding Meghan Markle, WW, Milky Way, JFK, Medusa, Kennedy's, Kentucky's cut. Bully or Bullied, the new royal scandal surrounding, so that was in the news. So there again, the bull, that's all coming up on the day after the moon. He's conjunct already, but he'll be fully on 9/11. So you'll see something going on with these guys. You'll see all kinds of the bully treatment coming through. Raging Bull, Appy, Saint Martin de Tours with his cape. And there is Taurus and sitting on that line on this passage. We've got red, yellow, Ophiuchus, Saint Martin de Tours. You know all these pictures. Okay. So 9/11, Mars on Bullseye, and 10/9, full moon, Aka Mad Hatter's Haters Top Hat, 10/6 is 10/9. There's his 10/6. You flip that, you've got the 9. 6 is Virgo, 9 is Sagittarius, the 10, Capricorn, the Northern Gates, flip-flop from Pisces and Cupids to Valentine and Artemis, Sagittarius, Virgo, fire and earth. So the moon will be at 96, that's the Northern Gates, or 69 flipped. That's visible on the knee in Aquarius. It's going to be in Aquarius, which is the Northern Gate, Aquarius Capricorn merge. So we'll have a look at the pictures. On the knee, on the whore's knee, whore knee, or knee, golden egg of Aquarius on Fomalhaut, the stone the philosophers rejected. Mars is on Aldebaran, the philosopher's stone. They rejected Aquarius. They're blowing him up. This is Kill Bill. Sun in Leo with Venus on regular, square Mars on the bullseye, and Pluto retro in Sagittarius and Capricorn. The cape. The B13 pop-off, Saturn Capricorn retrograde in Nanny Goat, Mary Popeye, square Uranus. So these pictures, and there we've got the full moon on Fomalhaut, on the knee, just on the knee, and we've got the Venus on Regulus, so that whore of Babylon. Normally Venus should be at her most highest exalted energy in Aquarius. She thinks of the group. She thinks of the all. I got Venus, Moon, and Mercury conjunct on Fomalhaut. And that's why I don't understand women with that Venus in Leo energy, predators. I have Jupiter here. So I have Jupiter opposite. It's going to be right on my axis, which is lovely. It's all beautiful if you're using all this properly. It's beautiful. So Moon and Venus meeting with the true, it can be really beautiful energy of people finding their true purposes and humanitarian roles, the collective, the moon, and there you've got Saturn. So is everybody still retrograde for this? Yep, Saturn. Everybody's still retrograde, and Mercury goes retrograde the day after in Virgo, making a square to Jupiter. And we've got Uranus conjunct to the tail of the snake before it comes right onto Algol, Medusa, and Mars on Aldebaran. He'll then go to the peak of the Horn for October, and then he'll go retrograde right here. And Pluto in that last retrograde going to make the bee, yellow Asia, fire, and the nanny goat to make their Merlion, to make their Jupiter in Pisces, bringing up the Merlion. We've still got Chiron here, and Neptune is retrograding back in Aquarius, and then we'll come back. It's the drowning coming. There is the moon. It will be right on the eye of Fomalhaut, on the knee. Phony baloney. Phoenicians, Babylonians. Saturn rules the knee, Capricorn, and the calves, Aquarius, and the feet are Pisces. It's this journey from the knee to the feet that people have got to get through. Okay, so a Basil Brush, boom, boom, combination. There he is in the bullseye. 10th video. The bullseye breast tit, the one-eyed moon star, musketeer, mosque, moss, Keto, the moose is in the hoose. Moby Dick's Canon, Poutine, Quack Quack, Donald Macron, DD44, Georgie, Quake Quake, Boom Boom, Coin Coin, Venus Mars, War Peace, Mental Programming, it's just ridiculous, Fox Jupiter, Crow Saturn, and Boom Boom, Pluto, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Uranus, Crack a Jack. Top of the pop-offs is your Lamb, Lamp, Thalamus, Third Eye. BB, Basil Brush, B22, Catch 22 is here. So I just fell on that. Quack Pad, Duck Quake, episode 1996. The nephews, so this is with Donald Duck. The nephews used Ludwig von Drake's earthquake machine to convince Donald to finance their contingency plan in case of a quake that just happens to include a top-notch clubhouse. Donald realizes he's been had and plans revenge. So 19 96 is the North Gate, 69, Cancer, 96, Aquarius, Saturn, the Twin Peaks. And check out that X, the house. We are told the Canary Wolf, Tintin, Quake soundtracks, Rockabye Baby. Yeah, this was the name. The music was by Eiffel Eye. This is what I've just opened. Yeah, where did I see all that? Yeah, Kevin Campbell, so Tintin, Tin Can. Where did I see what I've written there? Yep, there. Eiffel L. Canning, Eiffel Tower, FEI Canning, music by, soundtracks, Rockabye Baby. I've been singing that to you. Release date, October the 15th, 1996. It's always one leg, and the 996 is the 390-degree angles. The 9 and the 6 is the same thing. It's all about finding that last leg. This is beautiful. I shared somebody writing about going through these shattered layers of the broken mirror, that the 14 pieces of Osiris you've got to bring back, merge together, all for one, one for all, to be the upright. So it's happening. Pope dissolves Knights of Malta leadership, issues new constitution. So the North Star is in front of me in Po. Po means skin. We've got monkey pop, po, pop, pop, with the X. X marks the spot. The po and the X. They want your skin. They want your flesh. So this, I just fell on that. Serge Gainsbourg, Water to the Mouth, 1960. Again, 196. It's just the three angles. The one is the 90-degree angle, 196. 007. This is D'Artagnan next to me, and it's called the Chapel of Saint-Jacques. The walls, the well, the Lacoste Chateau. You want me to show you the pictures? Okay. D'Artagnan, this is all the village next to me. The Lupiac, there's the Chalice, the well. This is where I used to clean. My lovely friends who've got this chateau, and it keeps its original name. It's the Chateau of the Crocodile, Amit. And I told you I met the wolf. And when I came back to the chateau, there were all the Muslim girls in their black covered dancing on the beach. And lovely, lovely girls. And I said, well, you know, they were all afraid of my dogs. I said, well, don't worry about my dogs. There's a wolf up there. So very symbolic that they had the wolf out for the day of having 88 female Islamists at the chateau. Oh. There's the feather, writing at candlelight. Sword of D'Artagnan, the Count of Monte Cristo. A, B, A and B, A13, A Eiffel Tower and the 13 Ophiuchus. The A, B, Ab, Surd is life under the diaphragm in the belly of the beast. Ab is shorthand for abdominal, which comes from the Latin abdomen. Belly, and you know, the whale's belly, and it's a common name for what's formerly known as the rectus abdominis, abominable muscle. Your abs run up and down the front of your torso, torus, on either side of your belly button, BB22. Surd, Latin, surdus, deaf, silent, stupid. Lacking sense, irrational. Surd, conceits of scripture's sense. Voiceless. Taurus is the passage through the throat. Mercury, to make the Las Vegas. We've got Selene, Sylvester, and Tweetwee kills the canary wolf. It's your head. It's your I, your inner I. Widely unreasonable, illogical, or inappropriate, the allegations are patently absurd, an absurd state of affairs. The incidents that followed bordered on the absurd, making sense of absurd. Well, now it's so difficult, like making these videos showing you, because everything is totally surrealist. It's completely absurd. And, you know, you can only get through this if you can be detached from the absurdity and take it all with a pinch of salt. If you're too full in, I tell you what's going on, but I'm not attached to it. I'm free of it. I'm observing it. While the grandparents might scratch their heads at the Star Wars references, the actors and perhaps some younger parents likely delight in maniac, jumbled and absurd structure of the play. Absurd stresses a lack of logical sense or harmonious agreement of parts such as a premise and a conclusion not fitting together. In philosophy, it describes the problem of trying to distill meaning from one's experiences in a discourse on novelty and creation. Karl R. Horseman writes, there is an incongruity, an inconsistency, a conflict with a context that appears as lawful, orderly experience. As Alba-Kumus points out, absurdity springs from a comparison between two aspects of reality which seems to be out of harmony. Only you can be the harmony in the middle by seeing both aspects. So both surd and its more common cousin absurd come from the Latin word surdus. So you can read that. Alpha, beta, omega, or alpha, omega, occasionally alpha, beta. AB is a kink trope wherein some people have defined biological roles based on a hierarchical system. The terms were borrowed from older behavior research on captive wolves that have been misappropriated by popular culture, but do not reflect current wolf behavior research. Fan works using this trope may involve werewolf, knotting, or other animalistic elements, or the characters may be otherwise purely human. The term is generally written with slashes, ABO, abominable. Many fans, particularly ones from Australia and New Zealand, are comfortable seeing the term without slashes because it's also an Australian slur for the Aboriginal people. Got the helicopters now coming. Okay, so these were just pictures. I let you read them. You've got the helicopter in the background. You hear what he's doing with the frequency, the helicopter. It's coming to the vortex. Ab fab. There's the passage. There she is. Venus. Yeah, these are one of these funny helicopters. You've got it live during the recording that make very weird noises. It's right on top of me now. Off he goes. Or is he going to circle me? Right. This is funny. We're at the end. I'm going to round up. Well, this is more... Yeah, no, we're not quite at my roundup. So we've looked at that. That's beautiful poem from a friend that you can read. Beautiful. This is latest video of Uno yesterday. So here we go. RR, Romulus, Remus, Range Rover, Rolls Royce, Russian Roulette, 4x4 D-Day wheel drive ahead. R18, R is 18, is the 360 Ouroboros Milky Way snake. So head, we had the 3936, the earthquake in China at the North Gates, as Saturn is bang in between Capricorn and Aquarius. And we got Pluto entering and the closure, the shutting of the true passage. They are trying to make it for Valentine's Day coming up when Saturn enters Aquarius. So Orus, Boreas, Milky Way snake and tail, spin spine penis, the hormone Eliza, LiZZy line of the Putin, thorns of the rose, whirlpool, labyrinth. It's in my village, storm. The splash in the T-Rex Scotty teacup, the eye of pie, the tiger Tintin top cat. New British Prime Minister Liz Truss inherits a poisoned chalice. Altair the hawk, the diving duck, the whale's tail, will.i.am, Telltale, Pluto, Retro, Last Elastic Band, Under Altair, the AA rotating star before returning after 244 years to the Twin Peaks, Capricorn, Aquarius, true merging of the wheel. But Jupiter makes the B13, Yellow Asia fire with Black Capricorn Earth, incorrect merging. It's the Joker. Pluto enters the cap peak. He wears a cape as he has no cap. Capricorn, goat, nannies, fish. Well, Sagittarius, Jupiter has no capes. Pluto is just your time bomb trigger, your subconscious lightening. Papa was a rolling stone. Capricorn, goat, nanny fish, making himself the Merlion, Arslan, Aslan. It's the revolving doors of Down Under, the JFK jellyfish diaphragm cut. Those who still can't see at the bottom of the deep blue CCC, Alta is a type A main sequence star with about 1.8 times 18 RR, the mass of the sun, and 11 times its luminosity. Altair rotates rapidly with a rotational period of about 9 hours. For comparison, the equator of the sun makes a complete rotation in a little more than 25 days. But Altair's rotation is similar to and slightly faster than those of Jupiter and Saturn. Like those two planets, its rapid rotation forces the star to be oblate. Its equatorial diameter is over 20% greater than its polar diameter. So Russian roulette, storm coming, great video of LiZZy and Boris. This is the BJ pillars. We've got her rising, Boaz, Jacqueline, pillars, high priestess. The silver gates becomes the golden gates. There she is. Boaz, Jacqueline, Boris Johnson, and the fleur de lis, the three, the moon, full moon, the three crescent, that crescent moon there. And you've got yellow and red, masculine, the Gemini 11 instead of Aquarius, and rising this Elizabeth. Right, this is beautiful. You can read that story about the loneliest whale in the world. She isn't like any other whale. Unlike all other whales, she doesn't have friends. She doesn't have a family. She doesn't belong to any tribe, pack, or gang. She doesn't have a lover. She never had one. Her songs come in groups of 2 to 6 calls, lasting for 5 to 6 seconds. But her voice is unlike any other baleine whale. It is unique. So in French, a whale is baleine, which is the bull, the Baal, the disco ball, the Baal, happy bull god. It is it is when you become the whole, you find the 4th phase of the moon. It is unique. While the rest of her kind communicate between 12 and 25 hertz, she sings at 52 hertz. You see, that's precisely the problem. No other whales can hear her. Every one of her desperate calls to communicate remains unanswered, each cry ignored. And with every lonely song, she becomes sadder and more frustrated, her notes going deeper in despair as the years go by. So there's the whale's tail, and there's the passage. Pisces, 12th door, the whales, mermaids, telltale. It's all about the depth of her bellow, and of the tone of her echo. The song of the abyss. Remember Pink Floyd played Echoes in Pompidou. Her moans, the howl of her siren serenity. She clicks whistles and pulps her calls. The frequency waves vibrate where water meets air and the fire of the earth can evaporate again. The splash of the break-even point into a whole new world, which you are creating. But we got to get all these women through. So imagine being a Native American in 1492 and seeing this bizarre thing step off a ship. Well, imagine the jokers that embark on your island. The Tudor George, Gorge, hormonal LiZZy, Eliza, Thin Lizzy, ZZ Tops, Macbeth line. New British Prime Minister Liz Truss inherits a poisoned chalice. The word poisoned connotes to a painful death, whilst chalice connotes to the giving of life, as it has a religious resonance, linking to the Last Supper in Christianity, which is a representation of the removal of sin, leading to eternal life. Well, the removal of sin is the sine wave, the up and down. You find the break-even points where she sells seashells at the seashore. Virgo meets Pisces. All the feminine axis, Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Virgo. And, you know, it's just about the Anima Animus. It's all about your shadow work. So let's finish this video just looking quickly. The moon is conjunct to Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Neptune just back in Aquarius, and Jupiter conjunct the key Chiron on the whale's tail, making his wings. Mars going to be completely conjunct for 9/11, but he's already pretty much conjunct there. And we've got the head of the snake conjunct Uranus in Aries. We've got Mercury exalted in, and let's watch, Mercury's going to go retrograde. So tomorrow is 9/9, that's a big day too. And then full moon, sun on the feet of Jesus, and the moon, let's see. The moon is 9/9.8. So that moon is actually going to have moved off for the real full moon. But I'm interested in that moment when the moon is 9/6 on top of Fomalhaut. Well, I know actually on top of Fomalhaut we've got 9/9. The fat full moon is going to be bang moon on Fomalhaut. And so when did I see, what was I? Oh no, that was the other day I saw 9/6. Okay. Venus has just moved on from Regulus. The sun is still in Leo. And then there's Mercury beginning to go backwards on 9/11. And then it goes backwards. And then it's going to be completely blinded by the sun. And Venus is going to become that big whore. Elizabeth rising. Victoria Pisces, Elizabeth Virgo, Venus turning her into Medusa. And then we're going to have a black moon on the 25th of September in Virgo with Venus and Mercury blinded. Okay, so this is something I wrote about my astrology. You can read that because this has been long already. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying my tarot. I'm really enjoying being able to use the cards to give me the characters. Yeah, how did I put it here? That's why I have to read my stuff, because it's just how I say things. I'm better at writing it. Past 5 years have been perfecting and developing my abilities as a reader of the wheel. Now, these next few months, I hope to pull off 1 year's waiting to do works in my home. So I've got the builders together and I'm off to see my daughter for 4 months. So, you know, I've been waiting for builders for the whole year. I had to get my front tooth done. Had loads of stuff going on. But now I've got to get the insulation of my house perfected, because I need to leave somebody here of my frequency, who hasn't had the vache qui rit, who can do what I do, looking after my animals. It's a really lovely, beautiful, peaceful place to be. You just have to walk my dogs every day. So yeah, I'm looking for somebody. I'm speaking out here on YouTube. I will know if you're jokers, but if you're sincere and you are preferably already in France and you know a bit about French culture, I need somebody here from the beginning of December till the end of March. So I'm seriously looking for help. I'm on a site called Trusted House Sitters, but so far I haven't found anybody. So please let me know. So I'm very busy as I have begun a new service of tarot transition too, and it's such fun. I so adore how the cards honour me as I first spent many years deeply feeling the archetypes, planets, and how they speak of my clients depending on what scenes they play in houses and what signs write the scriptures for each of you. I've always used Jungian tarot to finish all my readings, and that has meant I now deeply see the patterns of what the cards affirm. After each reading, they bring the invisible realm beautifully into clarity, perspective, and focus. I love to see the transitions what issues are being brought to life in your current times, what events are applying, exact, and fading, past, present, future. I'm using 5 different decks now and loving my gypsy cards. They bring the planets, people, situations, aspects, and environments, houses into vision. It's so easy to see the whole story when you have the chart and the correct constellations and images that actually spell the writings on the wall, the present sky, and how that affects the present you. So next month I'm very busy. It means I can't give as many gift readings nor do as much as I have done in the past. I feel very guilty. I'm not helping all the people that I normally go to see, check on, look after, because I got to think about myself now. And I don't want to be spending my free time on other people. I have to focus on getting myself to New Zealand. So I'm happy working, doing a few videos here, and the rest of the time is running after the people to get stuff done, to leave my animals and be able to be at peace. I won't have been to New Zealand. That will be 7 years in 2023. And it's been one hell of a journey to get there. I have to focus, do as much as I've done in the past, helping people in my direct environment, real life. I was waiting, learning and growing past 5 years. I passed my tests. I'm through. Have to focus on getting to see my daughter and leaving my home complete and safe for the house and pet sitter, and making sure nothing gets in the way of reuniting with my family. However, I won't stop working, and tarot is so fulfilling and so much enjoyment to give people stories and reasons and to help them walk the path they are on. So grateful for the exceptional people that come to me for readings. You are all out of this world, spinning with all your hearts, and we are all on the same path. So grateful. Thank you. Forgive me. I'm sorry, and I love you. So that was a lot that I wanted to get out. We maybe could have spent more time looking at, but I think that all my posts have always slightly, it's always a kind of a subconscious journey to the clarification, and that, you know, I had no idea about. I do not go out and look for information. It just comes to me, but we really are coming up to that beautiful passage of the Vesica Pisces. If we look at Chalice, Tor, images. So, you know, this is going through, this is the passage above Liverpool, Glastonbury, up to Scotland. There is the well, and you see the Vesica Pisces. It's got a line in it. Is that the door to hell, or do you get through her chalice? My name's Victoria. I have always been called Tor, and that is the torso. It's the spin. It's the Pisces passage. Okay, my darlings, you know where to reach me. I'll put my links at the bottom. I love you so very much. And, just be aware of everything going on. But it really is about being able to create your reality and integrating your shadow sides and using it, owning it, not denying it, knowing how to say sorry and thank you, and being humble. Okay, bye for now, darlings.